As a young man, I had little to no regard for mentors. Maybe it's a result of my background, because growing up, I had to be my own mentor. I was my own mirror. I knew what was right and wrong. You don't have to tell me to go to the gym, manage my physique, disengage for any and anything that would thwart me from achieving my goal. I don't have to be motivated into action. I know exactly what I want and exactly how to get there. So this idea of mentors didn't strike me as compulsory. It didn't strike me as necessary. But over the years, the universe has forced me to dismiss that idea. Mentors are very important. And I know we are diverging from tonight's original teaching, but please hear me out. Mentors or predecessors are important. If you watch a man fall into a pit, struggle for 30 years to get out, it is foolish to make that same mistake. You are the one who's twice as unwise because the individual failed for you. And the B part of that anomaly is you as a man. You want story, you want stories to tell. But unfortunately for you, the story is unique the first time it's told. Nobody claps twice for the same thing. Nobody applauds you twice for the same thing. So if you want a unique story, you need to do something different. And most entrepreneurs, most business people, they approach it from a scarcity mentality, as though if someone engages in a story, there's no other one left. I'm here to tell you, sorry, life is the path of success, rather, is an indefinite reality. It's indefinite, it's infinite. Life is not a race, it's a marathon. So what you do is to optimize that marathon. Once you run as far as possible, you pass the baton. The best thing you can do as a man is to learn from your predecessors. Take the baton and see how far you can move before you pass on the torch. Do you know what it means to leverage from a 30 years failed experience? Do you know how far you can get leveraging on that one moment? Exactly. So kill the scarcity mindset, kill the idea you have to undergo the same process, you have to make the same mistake, you have to follow this route in an attempt to get a story. Life is infinite. If the stories you want, I guarantee you, on your path to success, there are lots and lots of obstacles. So that's the first thing. Back to the original discourse, which is pain. Not all pain are bad. Not all pain are bad. And before we explore that depth, I hope you know your reality is at the mercy of your interpretation. The circumstance is not what causes pain, but the interpretation associated. I've spoken previously on this subject and I'll use this analogy. Years ago, I subscribed for a gym membership, $2 and $4 with a trainer. I paid for the latter. The next day, I woke up sore, swollen, all my body aching, and being a spiritual person, I interpreted it from the standpoint of an attack. I didn't fight with anybody. I didn't do any kind of hard labor. Where's this sore coming from? So for the next 2 days, I would medicate myself until I felt better for the next appointment. I explained my experience with my coach, of which he casually dismissed it on the basis of being normal. But the Nigerian in me refuses to take that guy down. Because yes, why won't you convince me it's in your best interest if I'm beholden to this gym? Now, in retrospect, every single one of you can attest to the fact that he was telling the truth. But the interpretation of that event caused me to engage in activities I'm not supposed to. It's the same thing with you. Your body might be aching, your business might be going wrong. The worst thing you can do is telling your problems to people who can't help, or firing staff, or engaging in any and everything that doesn't lead to solution. Just because something is going wrong doesn't mean you are failing. Just because you are failing doesn't mean you are doing something wrong. It's just the natural process of life. The universe provides a platform to see how bad you want it. And if I'm in NSI, I'm the sun god Ra. I have all of these accolades under my belt. And the universe said, you know what? You think you're tough. And provided the requisite level of problem associated with that mindset. It was painful. It's no secret that this past few years has been one of the most challenging aspects of my life. We've gone through trial and tribulation, especially with the business and various aspects, but we triumph. We triumph. Not all pain is bad. Pain is at the mercy of your interpretation. I've spoken extensively on the subject of perception. So if that's something you want, I'll link the video for you in the description. But pain is at the mercy of your interpretation. Take gun, for instance. It's an objective phenomenon. Your interpretation is what categorizes it. The same thing with unaliving, an objective statement. Your morals is what categorizes it. If an enforcement official was to break into your house, that's the wrong word, was to approach you with a gun, would you be upset? Would you be scared? Exactly. Conversely, if a robber was to approach you with that same weapon, would you be scared? Exactly. So you see, the problem is not the object, the problem is the wielder. That wielder is your perception. When faced with pain, there are one of two things you can do. You can be like me, engaging in all kinds of medications, seeking unnecessary help. Yet, this pain is the requisite level of process that needs to be undergone in order to build bigger muscles. Or you can sit, enjoy the process, be confident that you are getting to the next level. And this is why I highlighted predecessors and mentors. Without them, you might not accurately interpret situations in your life. Like the gym scenario, without people who have undergone that experience and normalized the concept, many of us would have been hospitalized. Many of us would have been fighting a reality that's supposed to bring us reward. So whenever you go through an experience, the worst thing you can do is to complain, cry your eyes out, explain to people who can't help you. Let me make something clear. Your experience in any realm is what gives you authority to address matters. You see individuals, they have not pioneered any business, they've not built anything, and yet they are pointing fingers, correcting every and anybody. People who should be listening quietly in the conference, they are pointing and correcting men who have years of experience under your belt. And you wonder why you don't rise. Not all thing is bad. Your interpretation or otherwise is what makes the categorization, is what categorizes it. The second one, which leads me to number two, there's always a lesson to be learned. Whenever bad things happen, always ask yourself, what can I learn? What is this experience trying to teach me? Instead of complaining, crying your eyes out, and engaging in unnecessary activities, ask yourself, life is a brutal teacher. It will teach you as many times as you need to learn. If you do not grasp the lesson, you will keep making the mistakes that causes the process to repeat itself. If I don't charge my device before I travel and I end up borrowing someone else's phone, which causes me to be stranded, if I don't learn my lesson, that experience will keep repeating itself until I learn, or even worse, something negative happens. Here's how most people approach problems: they pedestalize their life until a solution appears. Say I have a court case, I would put every single thing on hold so I combat this court case, which is a very foolish way to live. One thing you learn as a leader is your experience is going to be a combination of mixed emotions. On one hand, you are celebrating the arrival of a child. On the other hand, you are mourning the loss of a colleague. On one hand, the branch manager just reported X amount of profit. On the other hand, this business lost money. You notice something very interesting. There can never be anything such as an objective happy day. It's mixed. So the worst thing you can do as a leader is to try and pedestalize or stave off current business until you solve a problem. It's a stupid way to live. And for as long as you do not learn the lesson, life will rearrange itself and brutally teach you until you learn. Not all pain is bad. Every experience, negative or positive, there's a lesson to learn. And when you learn that lesson, you evolve to become a mentor. You now join the crowd of witnesses and you are qualified to be called a patriarch. You're qualified, as I said, the result in any sphere gives you authority to address matters. There are people who are too innocent to advise you. They don't have the requisite level of pain. If a woman who was barren for 10 years is advising you on marriage and patience, you should listen. Apostle Paul put it perfectly. Let no man trouble me. I bear in my body the scars. Pay your price for success and you'll be fine. As always, my friends, a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.